So let's go ahead and start talking about these new patch notes that just came out today on June 28th. Uh, Not a very long list, so it'll probably be a very short video, but let's get right into it with the first one saying that survivors are no longer stuck after being revived from bleeding out state. So it seems like a bunch of these were just kind of bugs. Some of them seem to be patches, some of them seem to be bugs, and they're just kind of all under gameplay. So there isn't like a bug section and then a gameplay section. It seems like it's kind of just half and half. So this first one seems like I guess there was a bug in the game where you would go to get revived and you would stay on the ground. I think I might have had this happen to me one time where I went and got revived and then my character either A, stood up, but it kept saying that I was bleeding out, which I have seen multiple times, or it was an instance where I was still laying down on the ground and my body was just floating, like sliding on my back across the ground, but I was actually revived. So I guess they fixed that. Demon no longer receives infernal energy during possession for shooting bleeding out survivor. This is a big one. This was obviously a very, very big exploit in the game. I really, really hated it when demons did it. I'm sure all survivor mains and even demons are going to agree that this was not supposed to be intended, where you take possession of a survivor, you down the survivor, but then you just keep shooting their downed body or even their soul. You could, in order to continue getting infernal energy, and you essentially just kind of stay in that person's body like for 2 minutes at a time. So that's really good that got changed. Survivors no longer stay in bleeding out state if healed after completing the page or dagger has been collected. I have had this happen a couple times before. So effectively what happens is that like someone will go down and then they will like you'll complete either the page or the dagger step and it won't revive them in some instances, or I've seen some instances where like they have gone down, they've died, and then if you collect their soul at the exact same time that the pages or dagger finish, it doesn't revive them. So I'm not sure which one it's kind of fixing here. It sounds like it's fixing it to where like if they're bleeding out, they just flat out don't get revived when a page or dagger has completed. I don't think I've actually had that happen before, where someone's bleeding out specifically and then it doesn't revive them, but you never know. But I guess that was happening. Survivors will no longer be in a ragdoll state if a possessed survivor shoots at them in bleeding state right before they die. Again, haven't really seen this happen, but I guess there was some kind of bug where the survivors, survivors will no longer be in a ragdoll state if a possessed survivor shoots at them in bleeding. Oh, okay. So this is what I was talking about earlier when you were downed on the ground, you were bleeding out, and then someone was shooting you. It made it somehow glitched the game into making it to where like your character was in a ragdoll state. I don't know. Apparently they fixed that. If you guys have been experiencing that, let me know, but I haven't really seen it. But another big one. It seems like they kind of are doing like a bug and then a fix and then a bug and then a fix. Like the demon no longer receives infernal energy during possession for shooting bleeding out survivors is a really big one. And then the next really big one is the balance bar damage for the blue hunting rifle has been corrected. I'm sure a lot of you know, but I'm going to say for the people that don't know, like the white hunting rifle had a balance bar damage of like 50, and then the purple one had a balance bar damage of like 55, but the blue one in the middle was doing 255 balance bar damage, and it was clearly not supposed to be doing that. So the blue one ended up being even better than the purple by far. Being able to shoot them once or twice and completely get rid of their balance bar for a possessed unit was completely broken. It was very, very, very bad for the game. So I'm glad they actually corrected that. Infernal energy is no longer regenerated on Dark Ones when both demon and survivors were nearby before objectives have been completed. Probably have to read that one again. That one's quite a lengthy one. Infernal energy is no longer regenerated on Dark Ones when both demon and survivor players were nearby before objectives have been completed. I'm honestly kind of scratching my head on that one. I don't really know what they're talking about here. Maybe someone that knows what they are saying can comment below and let me know. But I really don't know what they're referring to here. It says infernal energy is no longer regenerated on Dark Ones when both survivors were nearby before objectives. It makes it sound like where like you weren't supposed to be getting infernal energy when you're near the Dark Ones if the demon and the survivors were both there. I don't know. Or I guess what it's saying is that you did get infernal energy when you were near the Dark Ones, and like you would get infernal energy before the Dark Ones were completed, but now they changed it to where you don't get infernal energy. I guess is what they're saying, is that like if you're fighting the Dark One, or if the survivors are fighting the Dark Ones and you're also there at the Dark Ones, you don't get regenerated infernal energy, I suppose is what they're saying, but I didn't even know that was a thing. So I knew that you regenerated infernal energy when you're, in the dagger or when you're in the pages. Like it is very, very rapid, but I didn't know that you got extra for being near the Dark One. So that's new to me. Mini Ashes Demon Trap now takes the correct number of items for your inventory. I'm not sure if this is bugged or not. I was actually hoping that they were going to change this, because there is an exploit in the game where if you open up a chest and it is the Mini Ashes Trap, you can just pull up your inventory and drop your items, and then the Mini Ash Demon doesn't take any items from your inventory. I don't know if what this is saying is that now it makes it to where it is going to take the items instantaneously, so you don't have time to drop your items, or if this means that it was taking an incorrect number of items before. Because I was actually noticing, because I've always wanted to test to see like what they take when you open up the Mini Ashes Trap. So I would activate the trap, and then I would look at my inventory, and then when the trap was done, I would look back at my inventory and nothing had been taken. So I suppose sometimes the Mini Ashes just straight up wouldn't take anything. So I suppose they're fixing it to where now it actually does take things. We applied a fix if a weapon is picked up by another survivor outside render range, you will not see it on the ground. I don't know what this is referring to. This is a bug that I have never really seen before. It says it applies a fix if a weapon is picked up by another survivor outside render range. So if someone else is on the other side of the map and they pick up a weapon, you will not see it on the ground. I don't really understand what they're trying to say there, but if you guys know, let me know. Stability fixed title crashing right before the result screen in a 4v AI mode. I don't play against AI, so I don't really know what they're talking about there. Survivor, this is the only thing that they pretty much have changed in any way that has to do with survivors, and both of them are with Ed Getley. So Ed Getley, which is my favorite currently right now, if you've seen any of our live streams lately, I've been playing Ed Getley because I just love having the added rarities to the chest for all my teammates. Ed Getley's an active skill now deactivates traps immediately after they're illuminated by a flashlight. Great. So they gave him a buff. I don't really know how it worked earlier. I felt like it pretty much deactivated them immediately, but I suppose what it did is it had like a 1 second delay where you could run up to a trap, and even with your flashlight on, you could actually activate that trap because the flashlight took a second to register that there was a trap there and it didn't deactivate it in time. So I guess now they made it to where it just instantly does it, and I don't know why there was a timer, before, but you know, now it does it instantaneously. And then Ed Getley's active skill can now disarm a trap in a supply crate if it was not previously placed by the demon. I have seen this a few times before, where I've run up to a crate that I'm pretty darn sure is trapped because the demon has just been in the area for a long time, and then I go to turn on his flashlight to deactivate the trap. It says that it's deactivated, or it like makes the noise and has like a little, you know, puff come out of it, and then I go to open it up and it still hits me with the trap. So I guess this is probably just a fix to make it to where it does properly disarm traps now in supply crates. And then it says Kandarian Demon fixed an issue where infernal energy orbs were not respawning if the demon had infernal revenue skill obtained. I wish I had the game opened right now so I could see what infernal revenue was. I think I would assume, based off of what this is saying, is that infernal revenue is the demon skill that makes it to where, which I think specifically is for Puppeteer, that makes it to where the orbs respawn at a faster rate. So I'm guessing that instead of respawning at a faster rate, they were just not respawning at all. So I suppose that was a bug, and that's fixed now. And then it says fixed a shortcut icon showing as the anti-cheat icon. But at this point, I'm sure everyone's already clicked off the video. We got through all the important stuff. They basically buffed Ed, which is great because that's pretty much the main person that I play right now. Ed and Kelly. I might be switching to Hunter Ash soon, but that's pretty much the only three that I play right now, unless I'm memeing and I want to play someone else. But pretty much Ed is who I like to play as, so that's perfect. And then they changed it to where the demon can't get energy from shooting bleeding out survivors, which is great. Balance bar damage on the hunting rifle was fixed. That is great. And then the mini ashes now take the correct number of items in your inventory, which is great. I think it was a good patch. It still isn't what we need. You know, these are great fixes. They're small little band-aids to put on everything. They're great. They're getting rid of the stuff that clearly isn't meant to be in the game. We still have a lot of stuff that is wrong, but hopefully over time, if they keep pumping out updates, you know, every week or so, we will be getting there to where we're going to have a very, very balanced game once everything gets sorted out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like it, please. It helps so much. And I will see you next time. Bye.